I'm going to start off with saying thank you for letting me do this interview.
Yeah, not a problem.
Can I get your name and what you do here at the Rowing Association?
Sure. My name is Justin Knust. I'm the coaching director at Lake County Rowing Association. We got a team of adults in middle school and high school kids all out here rowing for Lake County.
All right. I'd like to know, first off, what rowing means to you as a coach and how much it impacts you in life.
I've been rowing for 20 years. I started rowing in high school when I was in ninth grade. I rowed for 4 years, and then I got recruited to row in college, and then I coached in high school and college as well. And what it means to me is like anybody can do it, and it's never too late to start it. So like, whereas some sports, if you're not like an all-star by the age of like 9, 10, 11, you're probably not going to be like the best varsity volleyball player or basketball player. For rowing, like all the kids we have that are in our varsity program, they're kids that started like 8th, 9th, 10th grade, so they came to it pretty late, and these are kids that have an opportunity to go to college, so it can really sort of change the path of someone's life. It definitely changed mine.
So you're saying the impact on their life is huge just by rowing.
100%. Like the doors that it opens through getting into college, and like I this past weekend at a race, I had like 4 parents come up to me that just said, "Hey, my kid just joined in September, and the change that he or she has had, just in terms of their attitude and with school and stuff like that, are huge." And that's those are the impacts that I as a coach like.
So do you think so far in rowing, everyone here is, from what I've seen, everyone's really friendly, everyone welcomes everyone who comes in.
100%.
It feels amazing. Like when I first started rowing, Joseph came up to me, Landon came up to me, and they all were with open arms.
Right.
And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to sort of what I said about like nobody comes in, like when you walk in the boathouse, there's no like kid who comes in the first day as this all-star. So like everybody's been that kid or that guy or girl like who had their first day, who didn't know what they were doing, they didn't know if they were going to be good. So there aren't this sort of like, oh, when on a basketball team in high school, all those kids played together in middle school. They know who the awesome basketball players, they know who the kids aren't any good. Nobody knows that when they walk in the boathouse because nobody has any rowing experience. So everybody's on a much even playing field. So I feel like the sort of egos get put aside, and everybody had to deal with like that first day, week, month, even year, right, struggles. So since everybody's been there, everybody's a little more understanding of where people are coming from.
Do you think it's very important that everyone knows each other, talks to each other, make sure each other is like together?
Right, a certain level of camaraderie and like accountability is super, super important. Again, sort of I do like the parallels to like the sort of like major sports. Whereas like on a basketball team, if you've got like a LeBron James like kid, like your team is going to be really good. Granted, the surrounding parts matter, but that one kid has so much of an effect. We could take one of the best rowers in the world and put him in one of our boats, and if the other people aren't able to like follow and do their jobs and allow that person to maximize their benefit, then you can really, really struggle. So it's not just about elevating this one person. We have to elevate the whole team as a whole and a whole boat together.
When did you first start out, and what was it like joining the team and working with everyone?
Sure. I went to Dr. Phillips High School in Orange County. I rowed for OARS, which is the Orlando Area Rowing Association out of Windermere, just like 15 miles from Claremont. And, I started, again, same sort of thing, came in, I'd never rowed before. I, didn't cut it. I wasn't big enough to play football. Couldn't jump enough to play basketball. I couldn't hit a baseball. And like I was a moderately athletic kid, nothing like not an all-star. But again, I found this sport where basically my coach was like, how hard do you want to work? That's how good you're going to be. Ended up getting and taking officials to Brown and Harvard and Yale. I ended up not going to those colleges, but like to go from not knowing the sport at all to being recruited to the highest levels, that's what this sport can do for a kid or for a high school athlete.
So you're actually helping all these kids get into Harvard and Yale with their scholarships and rowing and doing all that stuff.
That's our goal. We've got, I've been here for 3 years. We've graduated my second year here, we graduated Olivia. She got a scholarship at JU. Last year, we graduated 4 seniors. All 4 of them went on to row in college. 3 of them got are rowing for NCAA Division I, one at JU, one at Stetson, and one at UCF. So we're sort of working our way up. We're getting more and more recognized. We've had the West Virginia coach and the UCF coach come down and sort of sit in the launch and look and see, what we got going on here. So we're getting more noticed, and we're hoping to be able to put more kids in college soon.
That's really good. So how are you guys preparing for races coming up?
So, our race cycle is sort of like it gets really heavy. We're right in October now in the sort of heat of our October racing. Then it's actually going to take a little bit of a step back before we start gearing up for the sprint racing in December, January, and February. So right now we're a little bit longer, but I think that as we get into Thanksgiving break, we'll start doing a little more intense work, shorten it down, and get it a little more explosive, which I know the kids like. It's a little less boring. It's a little more fun and fun for them when we actually do actual racing.
Mm-hmm. I want to thank you again for the interview.
Oh, not a problem.
I thought it was a great experience, and it was great talking to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.